My name is Rafe. I moved to the Bay Area. I've always considered myself a sexual person. Sexual energy made me feel alive.
Oh, look at all the Thailand pictures.
When I first met Rafe, he was this beautiful, tall, handsome, gorgeous man. He had a lot of sexual energy and was willing to explore, always.
When Tara and I were traveling through Thailand, we were both trying to contemplate whether we wanted to stay together or we wanted to end our relationship. Even though we still loved each other and cared about each other, we decided it'd be a good idea to end the relationship because we both wanted the freedom, if we did meet someone else, that we could explore that possibility. I was with a group of friends, and we were on a patio rooftop. It was a beautiful spring night. We're looking at the stars. I picked up a candle and started walking towards the edge of the roof. And all of a sudden, the candlelight blinded me for a split second, and I stepped off and fell like 12 feet. So I couldn't feel anything from my chest down. I had no feeling or sensation. When I was laying there in the hospital, sometimes I'd wake up and I'd try to sit up and I'd be like, what is going on? And I would think, this is a terrible nightmare I'm having. And then it dawned on me that this is reality. The first thing I thought of was, will I ever walk again? And the second thing I thought was, can I ever have pleasurable sex again? After 2 weeks, I was finally stable enough to travel back to the United States. And I get off the plane, and there's Tara. She's waiting for me. Yeah, it was really tough.
When he got off the plane, it was like picking up a soldier from war. It was very, very, very hard for me.
My spine was not cut, but it was contorted. It was bruised pretty severely. The good news is I have some feeling and movement. The bad news is I live with chronic pain most of the time. Tara was with me for the first couple of weeks. And then I was just curious, I wonder if I can feel anything, in my genitals.
So knowing that he and I were not in a relationship, we did open the conversation around, well, I am the closest to you at this time, and let's just explore.
So she'd massaged me. And, am I getting an erection? And she's like, no, fortunately you're not. And I couldn't feel anything at all. I couldn't get an erection. And I said, okay, well, I can't get an erection now, but I think in the future, there's gotta be something that's possible. About a year after my injury, I met a woman here in the Bay Area, and she was interested and we had an attraction. So one day, we were exploring around and she started massaging my thumb. And all of a sudden I said, wow, this feels so much like my penis. She would suck on it and that felt amazing, potentially orgasmic. It was like my surrogate penis. My friend Lisa is a sexologist.
That's good.
And she also has done a lot of work with people with disabilities.
I am a sex educator and sex counselor, and the work that I do with Rafe is really unique. I hadn't heard that there was such a thing as a surrogate penis.
The purpose of my work with Lisa is to explore how my body can feel more pleasure and more erotic sensation.
It feels totally different, but also feels really good.
Mm-hmm. A transfer of orgasm is when the person finds another place on their body that's very sensitive that will give them the sensation of having an orgasm. And typically with someone who has an injury like Rafe, the brain is very malleable.
Yeah.
It's probably similar to someone who is blind. Their hearing becomes incredibly acute.
The word I've used is neuroplasticity. The body wants to heal. Your nervous system wants to find new ways to make connections. So one of my sessions with Lisa, I felt this buildup of energy. And I felt like I was getting closer and closer to having an orgasm. And when I did, it was like just one wave of pleasure after another. It was pretty amazing. The other advantage to this is because I live with chronic pain, is that when I'm experiencing erotic pleasure, the pain pretty much goes away because I'm being flooded with all these great endorphins.
Rafe has a significant reduction in his pain after having one of these sessions, and that reduction in pain lasts for days, which, you know, is amazing.
I think it's therapeutic. I think it should be, you know, sex as therapy. Like, it really can help people with disabilities. Since sexuality has always been an important piece for me, I felt like this is an opportunity for me to learn how to reinvent my sexuality and hopefully share that information and knowledge with others. Most people don't really look at people with a disability as being sexual, that we're not sexual beings. The reality is that most of us are. We all have urges, we all have desires, we all want to be intimate, we all want to connect.
You know, that, especially for men, is a feeling like their worthiness has gone out the window and can create a lot of depression. You know, am I going to have a family? Is someone going to love me?
I'm single, but I hope to find someone that I can date exclusive in the future. I've learned to become a lot more forward if someone's attractive.
So you have full sensation?
Yeah, my thumb, definitely.
Feel good?
Feels really good, yeah.
Seven years ago, when I was laying there in the hospital, I asked the question, can I ever feel pleasurable sex again? So I'm a quadriplegic, which means that I have impairment in all four limbs. I cannot sit up. I couldn't get out of bed by myself. I need help with going to the bathroom, with dressing, showering, almost everything.
You got good juice today, dude.
I've been working with Rafe for about 3.5 years.
I think the majority of our time is spent talking about sex and dating.
Sexability shirt on. It's always a good thing.
We get nasty a little bit with our talking. We're men.
Thank you.
I've known Rafe for a while, and when I'm with him, I can sense this really sweet energy.
I like spicy.
You like spicy?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
So tonight at dinner, you know, I got to just learn even more about him.
I'm gonna start teaching some classes on sex and disability.
I'm not sure where she's at, I'm not sure where I'm at, but we definitely have a lot of things in common.
Do you want me to get your spoon?
That'd be great. Or would you mind, like, maybe giving me a taste, like eating it?
Yeah, that's even better.
If there's an attraction I have with someone and they're attracted to me, I mean, we're relatively soon, we're talking about sex.
So you can give an erection
Yeah. Sometimes they just come on spontaneously.
whether you will it or not?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, especially if I'm in that lotus position.
Yeah.
And then you'll tell them about my thumb.
My
Yeah.
thumb has a lot of sensation. What I found is that, like, massaging my thumb or start sucking on my thumb feels a lot like my penis used to feel. It's really hot.
I've learned to become a lot more forward and really go after, you know, if someone's attractive, maybe they're interested, maybe they're not.
So you have full sensation?
Yeah, at my thumb, definitely.
Feel good?
Feels really good, yeah.
Yeah.
So massaging's one thing, whereas if it's more like stroked real softly, it feels different. Yeah, it definitely feels different.
Yeah, much more sensual that way.
Yeah.
Day tonight with Ronnie was amazing. Yeah, it's really juicy.
I'll let you get a tour.
Yes.
I think Rafe's a really good date. It was really sweet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was so good.
It's so good.
It was so tasty.
He's got a good heart, good mind, and just, yeah, I appreciate him.
It's a nice night.
You know, it could definitely move in the direction of being more than a friendship. I'm not sure. And if it does, that'd be great. But I've learned not to have a lot of expectations going into dates, because I have always noticed that unfulfilled expectations lead to disappointment.
I know 5 more days in the darkest night of the year.
I think having my thumb be my surrogate penis has taught me that I can experience pleasure in ways that I never would have imagined. It's like sex can be so much more than what we think it can be if we open our minds.
Be service a good son.